Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's second video. Day 10 will take us to the 21st of September. And we'll be able to extend out beyond that with this GFS and NHC Ensembles. Wait on around a couple of weeks. We'll have a look at the CFS Weeklies at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, so that gets us into the early part of October. I'll get on with that for you in a moment. Just to say about the first video release today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast, so please check out all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everybody for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. We have launched our new range of GavsWeatherVids merch at our Spring or Teespring store. So here it is. This is the Teespring store just here. We have got loads and loads of merch here. So we have got a million Gavs vintage cap. We have got a million Gavs t-shirts and socks. We have got a Do It hat. I love the Do It hat. Have a look at this, everybody. There's the Do It cap. Love it, love it, love it. I've waited so long to show you all this. We've got a Do It mug as well in black and also various colours, white, etc, etc, etc. We have got stickers, we've got t-shirts, we've got old favourites like the GavsWeatherVids pillow in various soft colours. So, you know, that's back and whatnot. So, that's an old favourite. That was a big seller with the first lot of merch that we did. And we've also got a magic water bottle, so you can you can drink your magic water from the GavsWeatherVids magic water bottle. There it is. Everybody, looking very nice, I think. So yeah, we've got t-shirts, you know, we've got glasses, mugs, magic water bottle, stickers, hats, you name it, we've got it. Got socks as well, and there'll be more merch coming actually later on in the year. Around November we'll have a range of hoodies, jackets, and jumpers as well, sweaters coming. So if you'd like to have a look at our merch store, then all you need to do is go to merch store. You can find the link in the description with this and all of our future videos. There is a discount code as well for your first purchase, so you can get 15% off by using that particular discount code, CMD0721. So you can use that discount code, get 15% off. There will be discounts coming up as well, you know, that we will be using to promote our products. Also, so yeah, it's all out there. Thank you so much to my good friend James here at IJ for designing all of this merch for us. And as I say, there will be more merch coming in the next few days, weeks and months. So watch this space as the new merch comes on stream. Then I will be talking about that, of course, in the video. So thank you so much, everybody. And yeah, have a look at our store and you know, buy yourself a mug or a hat or something if you want to do that. Thank you so much. Right, okay, so we're going to start off with the situation in tropical Atlantic. We've got 4 interest areas. We've got 2 yellow X's just here. So they are disturbance 1 with a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 2 and 7 days. And disturbance 2 with a 60% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days. That could well be our next tropical storm and or hurricane. This one just here. We've also got tropical storm Margot, giving maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour. This is going to become a hurricane quite shortly as it moves northwards to the west of the Azores, and that's going to be a Category 1 hurricane through the course of this week. And then we also have Hurricane Lee as well. Lee is powering up back to 120 mile an hour maximum sustained winds with a minimum surface pressure of 950 millibars. Clicking on Lee, we can see that major Hurricane Lee is going to be pushing northwards to the west of Bermuda in the next few days, and by the time we get through to the weekend, heading up towards perhaps the northeast coast of America, but you know, wait and see about that. It will probably stay offshore, but it is looking like getting closer to some of those northeastern states there, like New Hampshire and Maine and whatnot. Probably going to hit Nova Scotia, though, as it goes further north than that through the course of the weekend. We shall keep you updated about all of the developments with Margot, Lee, and any other storms that follow. Going back to home section, temperature I think is about at its peak now for the month, so we are currently sitting at 20.4, which is nearly 7 degrees above the 61 to 99 average. Absolutely insane, this CT for September, 6.8 degrees above normal. That is provisional to yesterday, 10th of September. That is about as high as it's going to get. As I say, I think it will level off now and then should start gradually dropping away. But it's probably going to be a slower process. It doesn't look as though weather is going to be relatively warm anyway for the time of year, nowhere near as hot as it has been, and that's why we will bring that down, even though you know, it's still going to be relatively warm. We will bring it down because that is just such a hot anomaly. It's reached its peak, but still remain quite warm and gradually ticking that down over the next week or so, I think. Have a look at the regional wild. These are the 500 millibar high sonic flow charts for Penn State University. We've got the, for next week, 10 days, got the ECM on the top and the GFS is on the bottom. So 500 millibars, 80,000 feet, is an area in the atmosphere where high pressure and low pressure are being moved around by the jet stream running above. Blue extrapolates to below average height, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange and red to above average heights, which is high pressure. So you can see with the ECM in the 7 to 10 day time frame, we've got low pressure in the North Atlantic, quite a deep low, and we are establishing something of an Atlantic flow, but we still have this large ridge sitting to our east and northeast, and so that will probably keep the wind in from a relatively warm sort of southwesterly to possibly at times southerly direction. To really cool things down, we've got to get rid of this ridge, probably send it northwards or northwestwards, and sink this trough of low pressure in from Greenland. If we do that, we'll start pulling in much cooler polar maritime areas. It is, I think, we're still bringing up relatively warm air with that. The GFS looks like this of a 7 to 10 day time frame. Again, quite deep low pressure in the Atlantic and running into the south and west of the country, but with this ridge sitting to our east and northeast. Despite projection trying to go on a northwest southeast alignment, we're probably still bringing up relatively warm air from like a southerly or a southeasterly type direction with that. They're both unsettled though, so the weather will be turning unsettled. We will be having much more in way of rain compared to what we've been used to recently, but temperature probably still holding up, nowhere near as hot as it has been, but it's probably still holding up relatively warm values. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. Look at Liverpool today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Liverpool. So we're starting off above average still at the moment. The upper air temperature will actually be dropping to slightly below average through the course of the middle of the week. And then into the second half of the week and the weekend, remain close to average, although with a bit of a warm-up at the end of week and into weekend. The green line here is the GFS midnight operational run. That actually becomes very warm temporarily at the end of week into weekend again. And, you know, it looks warm-ish, this. Nowhere near as hot as it has been. The temperature probably still remaining a little bit above average, if anything. The big change is with precipitation. So there's going to be some wet weather around in the next day or so. A little bit dry around the middle part of the week. But then after that, the second half of the week, the weekend, and on into next week, looking particularly wet, actually, with some very large precipitation spikes coming through there through the third week of September. In particular, that period just here looking notably wet, actually. So the third week of September will be bringing some useful heavy rain, even if the temperatures are still rather on the warm side. So temperature anomalies should be 11th to 19th of September, above average, especially so to England and Wales. Precipitation anomalies should be 11th to 19th of September, wetter than average in the west, and a little bit drier than average in the east. Expect these anomaly maps to trend wetter over the next few days. The latest Windflow Map from earth.nullschool.net shows that we've got a cold front gradually moving southwards and eastwards across the country today. Cooler air coming in behind that, but still relatively warm, in fact very warm ahead of it. And that cold front could get a little bit stuck across England and Wales tonight and tomorrow, bring some spells of wet weather to parts of Wales and Midlands, East England, for example. But will eventually clear away, and Wednesday should be a drier day, but will be feeling cooler. Right, so let's start going through the chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Euro run. Looking for midnight on Thursday. The next area of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic then, bringing wet and windy weather into the north and west. On into the weekend, we watch for low pressure start pushing up from the south. So this will bring a very wet spell for Saturday into Sunday. This area of low pressure focus on England and Wales. Not that warm with that either. Upper air temperatures will probably be relatively warm, but with heavy rain moving up from the south, that will probably be relatively cool actually, with the surface temperature cool and wet into the weekend with the UK Met Euro run. Icon again looking like this. Oh, we're going to go one more chart out with the UK Met. Right, so the low pressure rain goes off to Denmark. No transient ridge building in midnight Monday. Next area of low pressure downstream will be threatening more wet and windy weather in from off the Atlantic. Right, now we go to Icon. Icon looks like that. Midnight Thursday, rather unsettled in the north and west with spells of rain. And then into the weekend, low pressure moves up from the south, same sort of idea as the UK Met run really, but bringing heavy rain with it through Saturday and into Sunday. Focus on England and Wales in particular. Once that low gets out of the way, goes up to Denmark. The next low is waiting in the wings in the Atlantic. That comes sweeping in, bringing more wet and windy weather into the beginning of next week. So very unsettled charts here with both the UK Met and Icon, even if the temperature itself is managing to hold up relatively okay. The GFS midnight run again has this area of low pressure into the northwest midnight on Thursday. That brings spells of rain across the north into the weekend. We've got this area of low pressure around Biscay, throwing up bands of rain, particularly across England and Wales. So looking unsettled, warm, yes, but also very wet over the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Up to day 10, there's the remains of Margot just there to the west of the island. So the upshot of Margot is to start building up a ridge again. Margot goes scooting off up towards Iceland and Greenland and starts building up this area of high pressure over Scandinavia. So the GFS midnight run eventually goes back to drier and much warmer conditions again through its extended range. All courtesy of Margot. But GFS 6Z once more with that area of low pressure across Scotland, bringing more wet weather with it. And then, of course, got low pressure down towards Portugal and Biscay. That starts pushing northwards through the weekend, threatening outbreaks of heavy and persistent rain, especially to more southern and western parts of the country. Heading up toward day 10, another very vigorous area of low pressure. Again, this is the remains of Margot. There she is, just there on the 19th of September. A vigorous area of low pressure with the remains of Margot moving to the north and west of the UK island, bringing severe gales potentially to those western and northwestern regions, but also quite a lot of warm air coming northwards with that storm as well. Beyond that, in the extended range, again, high pressure building up through the final week of the month, returning us to drier and warmer conditions again. I reckon if this comes off, if you do get this high pressure building again through the final sort of week or so, combined with southerly southeast winds, that will probably lock us in to the hottest September on record. I would not be at all surprised if we're not facing the warmest September since the CT record began in 1659 here. So, you know, just 2 runs of the GFS, but they're both going in the same direction, which is back to those very warm, dry, southerly, southeasterly winds again through the final week of September. Hottest September on record could be on the way. GM, again, showing this area of low pressure in the Atlantic. By the way, if you enjoy the video, please like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much to everybody for doing that. And why not drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We thank you so very much, everybody, for doing that. 65 subscribers are going to get us to 16.9k. Could give us a sub to your friends and family to subscribe. It would be amazing. Thank you so much. GM, again, with this area of low pressure, bringing wet and windy weather to the north and west on Thursday into the weekend. Actually doesn't bring that area of low pressure up from the south over the weekend. We build in a little ridge off the Atlantic. But actually been relatively cool air battery, so that will actually bring some quite cool nights. So eventually by the beginning of next week though, the GEM turns properly unsettled with this area of low pressure to west of Scotland Island, bringing wet and windy weather sweeping across the country. And all the way up to day 10 then the GEM is properly unsettled. So the GEM does have a slightly drier weekend come, but next week looking really unsettled with the gem. And then the East Gem at WF looking like back once more, kind of vigorous low to west of Scotland, midnight on Thursday, bringing wet and windy weather into the north, mostly dry down in the south. Over the weekend, this area of low pressure trying to get up from the south, but again similar to the GM actually, with a little bit more of a ridge, keeping most of that area of low pressure at bay over the weekend, although probably some rain getting into the south by the end of Sunday and on into Monday. After that, where we open the door to the Atlantic and bring areas of low pressure in from off the Atlantic there through the beginning of next week. Relatively mild all the time, though relatively warm, winds remaining from that southwesterly direction. This is a precipitation forecast based on the East Gem run from TheMetShow.com. So there's a cold front struggling for southwards and eastwards across England and Wales in the next 24 hours. Will bring further heavy showers and or longer spells of rain till around Wednesday. Then things turn drier briefly before wet and windy weather comes into the northwest from Wednesday into Thursday. That rain sort of peters out at the end of the week, but they've got more wet weather trying to get up from the south over the weekend. Really struggling both, so most of the showers and rain confined to far southern southwest regions through most of the weekend, but by the beginning of next week, that's when the wet weather starts trundling northwards. Remember, most of the other models have this wet weather coming northwards over the weekend, but the ECM holds it off until the beginning of next week. And then beyond that, when it's a case of watching showers and longer spells of rain coming in from off the Atlantic. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles today for day 10, which gets us to the 21st of September. From the Icelandic Met Office, 11 members of the ECM Ensembles with deep low pressure in the Atlantic and into the UK. That includes the control and the operational run at day 10. 10 with low pressure right over the top of the country. 9 with low pressure a little bit more to the west, but again coming into the country. 8 with low pressure to our north and northwest. That looks very unsettled, relatively mild, but relatively unsettled. Another 8 with low pressure both to the north and the west. And 5, just 5 building up some high pressure over Scandinavia and pulling in the wind from a warm easterly direction again. Most of the options there looking unsettled at day 10. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. We'll get us to 26th of September, 32 members of the ECM Ensemble still with low pressure coming through the country, unsettled with that one, and 19 with low pressure tending to be more to our west, high pressure building to the east. That will pull up the wind from a southerly direction. That's going in the direction of the GFS operational runs, those 19 there. Now within the ECM Ensembles, the idea that we go back to high pressure in the final week of September is there, but it's a minority option. The majority option, the 32 here, is to keep things rather unsettled with low pressure remaining from off the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, CFS finally. So these are 500 millibar height anomalies breaking down into week periods. The first week period takes us from the 11th, 17th of September. This coming week, this next week, the week we're just in, with low pressure to the north, some high pressure slipping more towards the south and the east. So it's more unsettled in the week ahead. And while still relatively warm, temperatures will be lower. Week 2 looks very unsettled. It's the 18th, 24th of September with deep low pressure more or less over top of the country, so obviously that's going to be really unsettled. Week 3 is going to be the 25th of September, the 10th of October, low pressure away to the north and west, high pressure building to the south again. That's going to be warm with the driest weather in the south, but wettest weather up in the north. And then week 4 rounds it all off. It's the 2nd to the 8th of October with again high pressure to the south, low pressure to the north, northeast, winds coming in from a westerly direction, driest weather in the south, most unsettled weather in the north, probably a little bit on the cool side into the north. We are quite close there to pulling in some northerly winds. Note as well, high pressure is building towards Greenland, so that's trying to get colder air in from the north, but the high pressure down to the south is also continuing to try and bring warm air up from the south and from the southwest. But as it's 4 weeks away, it's not worth worrying about. Right, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please can you like, share and subscribe. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. So I'll just start coming up tomorrow. We are going to have the 6 AM forecast, the extended European outlook, and there'll be a 10 to 14 day coming up for you as well tomorrow. Please keep checking back to the channel for more. Check out our spring store and get yourself a little bit of the GavsWeatherVids merch. It helps to support the channel, you know, along with the advertisements, the channel membership, etc, etc, etc. It's helping to pay for me to have this YouTube channel and do this for everybody, do this for all of you. So if you could get yourself a little bit of merch to help support the channel at the same time, that'd be absolutely lovely. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. And with that said, we'll wrap it up there. So that's your videos for today, and we'll be back with more tomorrow for this one and for today's videos. That's all now, and thanks for watching.